Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my Let's Play The Witcher 3. This is Arcade Craig here, along with Geralt. On today's agenda, well, we're going to be meeting up with our boy Regis. We're right outside here of the forest and the cemetery there that he's in. It's typically, I don't like to run around in the dark doing, checking, kind of seeing the landscape so well, but somehow it seems appropriate here to be meeting up with our vampire buddy at night in a cemetery. So that's what we're doing. We're going to head on in here. Murky wood. About what's going on. And of course, um, we'll go ahead and try and open the door, even though we know it's locked. Geralt does not yet know
Regis.
that.
Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Nope. Very cliche of Regis to do this.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
Indeed, there is. As I stated in a previous video, if you were to come here before you had that first standoff in confrontation with Detloff, if you were to come here, this would be unlocked. You would be able to explore. You wouldn't, of course, find Regis there, but you would have been able to come into the little spot he's got for himself here. Okay, let's kill these bad boys. Oh. Anymore, it sounds like we do. Sure, we've cleared them all before we head and look for the room, though, or for the drop. Oh, there it is. But you gonna say anything, girl? No. You gonna say anything about this? No. A gold plate. Don't need it. And I'll be sure we've killed them all though, because otherwise they could sprout later on during our cutscene as we're hanging out with our buddy, and I'd rather not. Looking like we killed only that bit to deal with. Seems so. All right, down we go.
Show me what you got.
Kicking wars. Vittles aplenty around here.
Oh,
That's some stench.
my bad. Always like to destroy their eggs. Seems like it'd be a right thing to do as a Witcher.
Not your lucky
Shit.
day. Not good.
Get out of there, girl. You had him. I will let you keep your ashes.
Decaying bones. Kikimors must have tunneled into the grave.
Lovely. Very lovely. We got more. Nope, don't want to head in there just yet. Yeah, don't look like we we have a choice. That's where we're going, it seems. But now there's a bit more we can explore. Um, hop on up here.
An illusion.
Go ahead and use that eye.
Interesting.
Go see what it says. And pause the video if you'd like to read through that. Try to remember to try that out at some point. Use that sword. All right.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliche can you get?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Okay. And the ring.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
And what do you want to use the hand for?
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Deadloff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettloff's hideout.
And you can't just summon him?
Can't you just summon Deadloff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
I do like that actor's delivery there at the beginning. You could definitely kind of hear his fear of summoning what is his name, the Unseen Elder. Right. Yeah, he definitely sounds a little bit nervous about having to do that. Well, brew the decoction.
Covenarius spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were culled to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless. So, perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
We're gonna nap it off? No, I don't think so. Let's have some drinks, bud.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even
Ah,
better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
No, we're definitely gonna be close offish with our art. This is a good friend, and one I think Geralt doesn't mind open up to, of course. But still, yeah, this is set up, man. You trying to get me to confess something?
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me? Sorry. Wanna get me to confess? Gonna have to try harder.
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Hmm. Yeah, I think this would definitely be a question that would be very intriguing. So, what's it like being dead? Other than I would just imagine it's just a bit of oblivion, bit of nothingness. What is it like being dead?
Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
That sounds completely
Can't
awful.
have been alive then. Sheesh. Experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view.
Yep.
Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
It's definitely a huge part of it there that your life may be on, life expectancy is 80 years. It is a, in terms of span of the universe, of course, it is nothing. It is a blink of an eye, and not even that. It's nothing of nothing, but it's significant to us that amount of time, short though it may be, it's still something that we value greatly. It's the one we've got. So, um, unfortunately, am agnostic, so I don't believe that there's anything after death. I wish that there were. I hope that I'm wrong and that there is, because I think that would be a much greater thing that if we would continue to live on and see our loved ones and whatnot. But I unfortunately think that once we're dead, that's it. It's the end, and it's you aren't gonna feel anything though. So there's nothing to like. You ain't gonna be living in regret or fear or anything else. That there'll be nothing, and it'll be the end of that. So it's a bit sad to think that yeah, once it's done, it's done, and that's why though too, I think you should live the most out of life that you can and get and fight for your life because it's and those that you love because this is it. This is what you got. So, um, where have you been? What have you been doing?
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Hmm.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the wild hunt together.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True
Indeed.
enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
And how are you handling abstinence? Not drinking any blood?
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start? Blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity's a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart
Yep.
from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Mm. That's something I share with Geralt. I'm definitely the curious sort. I'm always full of questions. And what's regeneration like?
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
Possible foreshadowing there, of course. So you shared plenty there, so maybe there's something you want to ask me. Something specific?
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Man, well, obviously, if this was Lambert, without question, he greatly resents being a Witcher and going through what he's been through. There's no question he would. The Geralt, I don't think the Geralt minds it all that much. I think, in fact, I think he likes being a Witcher. Um, I'm sure it's not an easy life at all whatsoever, but at the same time, he's doing important work. He's um, lived a very fascinating life and experiences that he's had. So I think he wouldn't want to be anyone else. And I don't think he'd want to do anything other than what he's doing. I think he enjoys being a Witcher for whatever that is by enjoying. But I think it suits him. Yeah, I'd be a Witcher.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. Like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast.
I bet.
Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Hmm. Yeah, Regis is such a terrific character, man. I enjoy him greatly.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep.
Hmm.
Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? And going back to the point about Geralt talking about being a Witcher and doing, it does make me think, of course, at the ending of this, and kind of the way CD Projekt Red signed off at the end here when Geralt will be or one of the endings, the girl could be sitting there with Regis again, I think having a drink and them chatting, and Geralt will look into the camera. In fact, kind of like just talk about how basically I think like this is a good time to rest now to kind of relax, right? Like basically it really gave it some closure here for Geralt's story, and there's been getting to be more and more stronger rumors about a new either DLC or possibly even an expansion coming to The Witcher 3 in 2026. But there's been yet no official word, but the rumors are getting stronger, and so I'm curious if they end up doing that. Is it's using it as a bridge to get to The Witcher 4, which of course many are speculating that it will be series related, obviously, and so you wonder will it pick up here within Blood and Wine, where Geralt's relaxing in Covo Bianco, and they're gonna come to him with something like series in trouble or whatever. Geralt's got to go look into this, or um, since not everybody has this DLC, though, will it just be from the end of the base game? I don't know. I'm not sure where they're going to pick up, and I'm not sure what if they're going to decide that one of the three endings, or basically three endings that you get within the base game, if they're going to make one of them canon and go from there. Which obviously, her being a Witcher in the fourth game makes it seem quite clear that that would be the ending that we had for our game here, where she is a Witcher. But who knows? I think it could be a possibility that maybe there's a way where they can make it work with all three endings. And you say, well, how is that possible? Where there's that one ending where she dies, but there's actually, and it's a secret that was found only very recently, nearly 10 years after the game had come out, that Ciri in fact did live. That she just didn't return to Geralt. And the ending where Geralt goes to take on that last crone or whatever, and when he's holding the Vesemir's Witcher Medine, and he's kind of, just breaking down inside that house, and the creatures are all coming in on him. And there's a painting though there, and the painting shows a tower, and it shows a sparrow. It's very people had to really like freeze frame and dig into it, but there's a sparrow flying away from the tower, and CD Projekt Red, if I remember right, that they did acknowledge it and then saying that yes, she did escape, she did live, she just didn't return to Geralt. So even in that ending, it could be that she did, although she didn't return to Geralt, she did. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and maybe Geralt's gonna look into finding her and seeing what's going on, and it will lead to her becoming a Witcher. And of course, the ending with her being a Witcher, that quite easily leads into that, and um, the other ending where she becomes empress, of course, well, she could always abdicate. Like she could just I'm no longer or even continue on as a princess, but decide or fate may fall onto her where she goes down this path that's going to lead her to becoming a witcher nevertheless. So there's I think so many opportunities of them that they can make this work one way or another, and I'm definitely interested in seeing where Witcher 4 is going to go, and I'm definitely curious if they're going to make a DLC or an expansion for this game, and that will bridge these two games. So I am definitely looking forward to it and hoping it's as great as this game is. It's a high bar set, and they've got their work cut out for them. But we're just hoping they can do it. No, I appreciate the compliment, Regis.
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
I do really enjoy this quest. This is a fantastic one, and I'm looking forward to it. And do you know anything else about the white?
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons.
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder, or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
And of course, Gunthrow Dim was very fond of spoons, it seems. um, well, we did come across a white when we were doing that quest just recently, right? With the what was that quest called? The Warble of the Smitten Knight. We went through that cave. I chased back to get to the cave, but there was a white within it, but not a spot of white, but it was within a cave. And what's this about a curse?
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something.
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
We'll see. I think it's time to visit the white.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
All right. Read the bestiary about the spotted white. All right. There we go. I can read on that. Pause the video, of course. Okay. We'll look for the white. Now, before we do that, since we're near that spot, first of all, let me get it marked. The direction we'll be heading. We're gonna head over here though and just look and see because there was some chests there that actually you can go ahead and gather. When I went back to that cave, I noticed there was some chests with some decent loot it seemed too, but since I didn't, that was just me testing things out. I didn't use it on the save file that we're now continuing on. So, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Bear. Wakey, wakey. Yeah, I know. You're just minding your own. You're bad luck. Bit foggy out, huh? That kind of seems appropriate heading up there that it get foggy, but alright, let me get a save. I don't remember precisely where within this area where the loot was. We will find it. Let me get that ready because we'll probably be dealing with some foul beasts. take cash monies. Yeah, this was the area that I was thinking of. Hearing any creatures swimming by. Want to get attacked. There. Yeah, this was the area that I came to. It had, like I said, some pretty decent loot. Not too shabby. Um, did we already look at that one? We probably did. No, we did. Anything more? Yeah, this was. I remember coming down to this without a mod. Making a swim is definitely challenging when you're dealing with running out of breath, of course. Not anything our Geralt is too concerned with. He's got magnificent power there. Of Nexus mods. I am really considering, um, since we are going to be looking for all the gear for the Grandmaster gear here in Toussaint. I am kind of really thinking about going back to the mainland, and well, this is on the mainland, ain't it? Well, this is on part of the continent, but to the base game area and looking for all the Witcher gear. Just I say I'm not wanting to rush through this game. I think there is some good lore stuff within doing that often. So like I think I will. I think I'll on E. Hmm. Oh, maybe that's up in here. Nope. I wonder if that's speaking of Witcher gear, maybe that's what will lead to that. Don't recall. We're not directly looking for Witcher gear as we speak, so when we come to doing that quest of looking for the Grandmaster gear, we'll see about that. Did we miss it? There any? Wait, let's head back in real quick. The map doesn't give anything away, and I'm not seeing any other areas we could kind of turn into. So I have a feeling that that is Richard Gere, but hopefully I remember to look up um, if during that quest we don't find anything that leads us down to here. Hopefully I'll remember to come and look into what it is to get that. There's definitely quite a bit around here. The direction when we first came here, we pretty much just ended up right where the opening was to the portal, so didn't explore that hard at all. But if you were looking for loot and monies, be a good spot, it seems. Might be our last bit there. I think we got all that we need. We're gonna look at, right? Check both of those. We looked at. I go here. There was a little boat. Yeah, we looked into there when we first came down here. Yep. Okay, we're good. Time to get into the quest. So you know what? What was that sword we just picked up? Kind of think about just using it. It's quite a bit weaker, but just to try it out for a little bit, why not? It does have 3 slots, but I'm not going to use anything on it. But we'll give it a little bit of a run. I did, and I'm not the biggest fan of the way this gear looks. It's okay, but eh. There, little peacock. Yeah, got a couple of you. They kind of sound like cats meows when they do that noise. Yeah. Um. So yeah, this may be the last episode we do with this gear. I might change it up. Make our way to it. Yeah, this is such a wonderful quest.
The
And
dressings, bandages.
What's that about?
oh no, oh shit! I'm gonna avoid them right now. 'Cause, I do want to do this one, obviously, just not yet. Ah, and I was right when we ran by this place. I speculated that was a place that had they did a ritual type of thing going on, and that is it. But I'm gonna for now, so we're not doing that right now. I ain't gonna the story's not gonna advance without us intervening. So Geralt's on a mission. Now it's never explicitly said that this is. I don't think, anyways, that Juntro Dim brought this curse, but it's heavily implied. He could be a very wicked and cruel creature. I mean, the curse that he put on her is, man. And I think it stated too that she was a young lady. Just started, and you can see she's much older by the time coming to its conclusion here. So she suffered greatly, and for a long time, for the Senya of not being generous to a person in need, but that not necessary to punish her that severely, though. Smeagol, Circus, Andy Circus. Oh yeah, that's very nice. My precious. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this space. Why not? So yeah, nice little homage to Lord of the Rings there. in them florins. We're gonna have to get them some of our foreign coin traded in, and that of course going to lead us to the paper chase. And I definitely want to be doing that here somewhat here soon. Still going in the right direction. Is it going to? Am I turning back the way we came? It's going to start to wind its way up from here. Did I get completely turned around? We're fine. I think we're doing all right. Yeah, numbers getting smaller. Like I said. Yep, indeed we are. Dogs a howling.
Bar guests.
Yeah.
Never a good omen.
Dealt with them in the very beginning of the first game. Spoons rattle. It's definitely so spooky, man. And again, I like here on this quest though how they give you some options here on how you want to handle this. If you just want to take on the white and get the savory gland, you can do that. Oh, I didn't need to collect all the spoons, or did I? um, but obviously, it's far more richer, I think, story-wise, if you look to lift the curse. So that's what our Geralt would be trying to do
Winch's
here.
Raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place.
Yep. And the first time playing, I was able to get this done correctly. I don't panic and pick a wrong answer here or something.
Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm. A message. Trying to tell me something.
Oh, I bet. Or if you can get in there or not. Don't believe so. But, yeah, I realize I am backtracking, but I'm just checking to look at these structures, see if there's any way to get into them or not. Oh well. Now we're gonna get a cutscene here soon, but I'm trying to be sure if there's anything else I can get before it does. I missed nothing, but and
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
Yep. And of course, Master Mirror being one of his names. Like, and Marlene, that was her, right? If I remember right. I think so. Drop a comment on that.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
Alright, in we go.
What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva.
I can't imagine the smell. Yeah.
White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred.
Stained diary.
Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant.
I think often he's gonna say things about the same, about the
Spoon's
spoon.
incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table.
But that's what I mean. That there will be times where he's gonna have unique dialogue. So we may often get repeated dialogue. That I apologize, but I'm gonna try and click on get as much dialogue as we can. The spoons.
Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe?
Indeed.
No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense.
Or dang man, she's forcing these people trying to break her own curse, and they're not realizing what is being forced by a monster, man.
Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him.
Pure desperation. Doing this harm to
No
these poor
claw
people,
or
man.
fang marks. Probably choked to death.
Same thing.
None shall sit and dine
Yeah.
with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
Better.
Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic.
We look at that one. I don't recall.
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
Same curse.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror.
Key.
A spine key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector.
Schmiegel Circus again. Alright. Into that one. Okay. Down we go.
Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred.
Huh. Valjean, no? Is in Les Miserables. Jean Valjean. We'll take it. He when the bishop took him in, he was granted, a place to stay. He ended up ripping off all the silver from the silverware candles. No, he didn't take the candlesticks. After he was caught, and the bishop gave him the. What? Why didn't you take the candlesticks? You should have had the bishop
Spoon.
covered for him.
Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old.
That's such a powerful scene, man. With this silver, with this silver, oh, how's it worded, man? It's so fantastic because he gives Jean Valjean a second chance at life, man. Even though he himself robbed him, he assaulted him, and took off.
Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
I think I say, with this treasure, I ransom you from evil.
Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years.
Basically tells him to now go forward and lead a good life. Like, don't. You're given a great opportunity here. And don't. Jean Valjean does take him up for it. He heeds those words. But he just can't believe it that the bishop actually is gonna help him out, let him go after he tried to rob him. I love Les Miserables so much. I can't speak for
White's obsessed. A real collector.
for
Thoroughbred.
any other plays. I've never seen any of the plays. I've read the book, and I very much enjoy the movie, the 1998 version with Liam Neeson and Uma Thurman, um, Jeffrey Rush. It's a fantastic adaptation of it. Not a musical because I'm not really into musicals, but I highly recommend the 1998 version of Les Miserables. That scene with that bishop, it stuck with me ever since I read it. And, it's such a powerful moment of showing forgiveness that, let's say, he let Jean Valjean stay in his home. Jean Valjean repaid him by stealing from him, and even when he was caught and brought to him after he'd been caught, he gave him a second chance and told him, "Do good now. Don't live this life anymore. You're given a terrific opportunity." So it was amazing, just amazing. Story of redemption, and I think redemption's something everyone should be granted. No, not I don't think you should be granted till to no end, or like at some point. I think we're all due a second chance.
I
Put
was
it that way.
looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Hope there's a drop of brew left in the cauldron for Regis.
But that doesn't mean to continue to do wrong third time, fourth time, fifth time, like on and on and on. Like at some point, yeah, punishment has to come. But I do believe in second chances. That's for sure, without question.
Table set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse, and it's been trying desperately to lift it.
Wait, what is it? A whetstone? Oh, okay. All right. Looks like all it's got left is to click on.
Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron.
Yep. Didn't he turn into a vile creature, man? Gotta lift the curse. This will be pretty gutsy, though.
I'm not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it.
Man, I can't imagine how foul this stew must be, and Geralt's gonna have to
You tried
swallow
to
it.
bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest.
No. Key part there, willing. And obviously she can still reason somewhat. Lost her mind mostly, but there's some bit of rationality there, it seems.
Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you.
Okay. I know it, but we'll go ahead and have Geralt repeat it.
Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, "None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror."
Okay, so yeah, this would seem like the least obvious one that you would get like this too. You'd obviously be wrong. Like I don't know anyone that would pick that. Um, I can see how why someone could pick that. You'd be like, okay, this is a spoon that she didn't have, so I'm giving her my spoon, and maybe she could eat with that. So I can see why someone would pick that. But no, it then becomes her spoon once she has it. So it's because of course that she not eat with any spoon.
We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons.
Just like man, just pulling out of the. I need a spoon. Or I have a spoon. Oof, swallow it. Only a witcher's right to the mutation is able to swallow that down.
Open
Ooh.
your eyes. You need to see your likeness.
No, we are gonna need to find her because I think if you do, like, we have the glands out, so you could return.
Think it worked.
But
Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't
if
be hard to find given its stench.
if you leave her, she will, I think, die of exposure or whatever. Like she will die, I believe, if you don't go after her. Following her stench.
Not your lucky day.
I don't. Maybe those creatures there will kill her. Certainly possible. But I know if you do leave her to it, she will die. Come on, girl, shake it. Poor thing, man.
Shh, easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I'll take you someplace safe.
You're a good guy, girl. Well done by City Project Red.
So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought
100
this
years,
about?
man. No, I'll definitely tell her now. Tell him now. She was cursed.
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts,
And there's the
he
theme
swore
music
no
of
one
Gunter
would ever
Dam.
wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment.
Yeah.
I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
And that's it. She was wrong to, it was well, the beggar we think was Gunter Dim, so he was, you know. Nevertheless, a beggar was asking for food and she had plenty. She should have given food. She didn't, but the punishment went way too far. So, again, as we were talking about with Les Miserables, with Jean Valjean getting a second chance at life and punishment that he was dealt was too harsh when he first stole just a loaf of bread to feed him and his sister. He was put into prison for years on. It she here was wrong, but she didn't need 100 years worth of punishment. So no, we will. I did some thinking, figured it out. Let me tell you the story.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will.
Yep.
They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
But most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands here.
Here, let's play Gwent. uh, please tell me more about it. Pretty sure we've asked him about that. So, for now, we'll end that here.
Thanks.
I think if we
Gotta
come
get back
back
to my business now. See you soon.
in a day or so, or maybe she's already on to talk. I don't think so though. I think for now she's just kind of like we'll talk later, but and you can, but we'll see what she says.
I thank you. So tasty. Oh, so good.
Imagine.
Mm, tasty. Mm, so mm, wonderful. Thank you.
No problem, Elena. Enjoy it. But yeah, here's what I was talking about. We put Winter's Blade there. I need to put Hjalmar's weapon there with it, but there it is. Pretty sure that is the one we were given from Brown. Even though there are several Winter's Blades, I think that is the right one. So, well, I'll have Geralt sleep in the bed there in just a sec, but we're gonna close this out here. Um, but yeah, and as I said, Jean Valjean actually is given a third chance. All right, so he wasn't because he did steal bread originally. That is, he stole bread, but he was him and his sister were starving, but he still stole. So he did wrong. Yeah, maybe he should get jail time, but he was in there for years on end. Because it was much harsher uh, punishment, then and then he later, of course, as I said, stole from the bishop, and the bishop then gave him a second chance after wronging the bishop, right? But in any event, the point is he gave him a chance at redemption, and I think that is important in life. We all screw up plenty. It's good to get a chance to redeem yourself when you truly wish to redeem yourself. Anyway, this is a terrific quest. I thoroughly enjoy it. As I said, girl, I'll have him go and rest up in the morning, and at the beginning of the next episode, we'll see if she'll be now willing to talk, or if a little bit more time has to pass. I don't recall. A few days, maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. At any event, we'll do that. We will talk to we'll head back and speak with Regis and get his part of that quest. So we will continue a little bit further here with the main quest, just a bit, and then we will get back to doing some of our exploring here of the lands and doing some more Witcher's contracts and whatnot. And look forward to continuing to explore the land here in Tucson. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to continue following here in Geralt's journey to The Witcher 3 and Blood and Wine. And I hope to see you on the next video. I post these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope to see you in the next one. I'll see y'all around. Later.